What's going on? First of all, I know you haven't seen my face, and I know I haven't posted a video for 8 years. So I'm sorry about that, and I owe you all an apology and explanation, and all the above, which I'll do. But right now, I'm starting some new content, and that's on the UFC. So today, I'm going to break down UFC 317 International Fight Week, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. I am going to give my picks and predictions for how the fight will go and who will win for every fight on the card. Starting with the heavyweights, the big boys. Janata Denise versus Alvin Eggman Hayes. Look at this man. That is Dana Pink right there. 7-0, making his debut off the regional scene. He had a nice head kick KO against a Slava. But he's facing Denise, who I think is, for heavyweights, not saying much, who I think is pretty dang good on the feet. I know he got dominated by Marcin Tybura, but I don't see Alvin Hayes being able to take him down, keep him down, and beat him up. And if Denise can come forward, put on pressure and strike, I think he's gonna buzzsaw Alvin Hines. I'm thinking about first round, second round KO. I don't know how good Hines' cardio is. Maybe he'll stick in there. Both of these guys have decent physiques for being heavyweights, but man, Denise looked good before running into Tybura, and I just don't think Alvin Hines is going to be able to take him down, keep that pressure on. Denise is taller, has a longer reach. 8-1 versus 7-0. I'm going to have to go with Denise by knockout or decision. Hines looks like he can take a beating. He looks like a bouncer. He looks like someone that would get mad at you if you cut him off in the road. I don't know. All-American is not going to get it done this time. Even though he's 7-0, I'm going to go with Denise. If you're going to go Hines, do KO, although I just don't see that happening. Denise is a better striker. Moving up the card, we have a complete slaughter. Reminds me of the video of the pig that got out of the back of the truck on the highway. That was random. Nico Price with the extra shoulder blades versus the Black Khabib with striking, according to Daniel Cormier. Jacoby Smith, this is a slaughter. Nico Price has 12 children, and I think all 12 are going to be in the front row. Jacoby Smith has everything. He has power, stamina, wrestling. His takedowns are very, very unique. He'll buckle people's knees to get them down, and his ground and pound and pressure when he gets someone down is top tier. And he has power. He's a better version of Bo Nickel. Jacoby Smith, he is a little bit short. Nico Price, he's gotten knocked out by a jab. He's gone to war, beat people I didn't think he would beat, like Alex Morono. But in this fight, he's set up. He's doing the UFC a favor. I think within the first 3 minutes is when Jacoby Smith lands those 1 to 2 hard punches and Nico Price feels those punches, he's going to take a dive. He's going to take Anthony Smith. He's going to ball up. He doesn't want to get killed, lose a year off his life, and not be able to fight again because the UFC is going to keep him. He's doing the UFC a favor. But when he feels the power of Smith, I think it's going to be wraps. I don't think he wants to get knocked out cold. I think he gives up in the first round via TKO, or he allows a sub to slip in there. As you see, the odds are just out of this world. But last night in PFL, Muhammad Ali's grandson lost. Moving up the card, we have Terrence Chinny McKinney versus Vyacheslav Borchev. Slava Claus. I used to love Slava Claus in his Contender Series fight. His work to the body, his hooks against Arichi Lang. No, was it? Mahashat. His body work. It reminded me of Petr Yan in a way. Not the kicks at all, but just head movement, combinations to the body. But it just turns out this guy is weak. His body is frail. He's from Russia, but it seems like anyone in this weight class, if they get a hold of him, just picks him up and puts him where they want him. Every time. And, I don't know what it is about his build. Maybe he just doesn't have good balance or quick twitch. Terrence McKinney is the opposite. Borchev's good at surviving, but McKinney is good at finishing. Pretty much all of his finishes or getting finished is in the first round. I think this is going to go to maybe the second round, but probably not. McKinney is not Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper looks for submissions. He's like a python, but he just can't really put that ground and pound on. McKinney is a finisher. He will knock down Borchev, and he does. It's over. If he gets a hold of Borchev, he's tossing him to the ground. You know, he climbed up and submitted Ziam, which, looking ahead, was an amazing win. McKinney is do or die. The odds for the fight to go the distance is probably 1,000,000 to 1. Not going to happen. But I think McKinney takes Borchev out. Borchev is just too weak, too frail, just can get bullied, and McKinney can do the bullying. I think Borchev will make it easy, too, for McKinney not to tire out too much. If he doesn't finish him right away, he will eventually. I'm going with Terrence McKinney via knockout, probably in the first round. Could be club and sub as well. Moving up the card to the piss break, we have Viviana Araujo. I'm not the best with Brazilian names. And Tracy Cortez, the Mexican. I think Cortez takes it because of her pace and pressure. I don't think either of these fighters are good. Vivian is over the hump. I don't think she was ever anything special. She's a little bit older, which usually doesn't matter as much in women's MMA, but Tracy Cortez here is going to fail a couple takedowns and keep shooting, clinch against the fence, hold her there, pepper shots, eat shots with the Mexican chin that can just take it. And she is going to walk away with a victory, maybe 30-27. I think she just outpaces, outlands, outworks Vivian throughout the entirety of the fight. No finish. I don't think I can see a finish here. Maybe she gets her down for 30 seconds. Maybe she holds her against the cage for 2 minutes one round and then outstrikes her by a couple of punches. I think that's where we're headed with this fight. I'm going to go with Tracy Cortez. Next up is a fight I'm very, very interested in. I absolutely love Jose. Absolutely love him since the Contender Series debut. I love the way this guy fights. I love Prates. I love him. I love the guy that just beat Dober and lost to Bahamondes in UFC. These guys, their style, they just are lanky, but they just can crack with that power. Short torso, long legs, long arms, fast twitch. His kicks are good, but he's running into a brick. A better version of Marvin Vettori, a smaller version of Hyder Emil, has a chin, nonstop pressure, a lot more power than Marvin. I'm sorry, Hyder, I can't do you like that. Will not quit. And doesn't seem to get too tired. This is a great fight. With that being said, I think Jose wins. I think early in the fight, if he's able to get those body kicks, teeps, leg kicks, which he's good at, he can slow down Hyder a little bit and then start to find those shots. It's going to be hard to put Hyder away. But Jose on the outside totally wins this fight. It's just, can he keep that distance using kicks, fakes, feints, everything, just to keep Hyder Emil off him in his Minecraft head. That's how I think this goes. Could he get a knockout? Possibly in the third round, if Hyder's really worn down, maybe to the body. But this is a great matchup. This card is very underrated. I'm very excited. I'm going with my man Jose Miguel Delgado. Maybe third round knockout or by decision. This is going to be a war. I'm super excited for it. And people keep underrating Hyder, and here I am doing it again. So we'll see about that. Next up, we have Mr. RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez. He fights for your money. One of the best things ever is when Chitty split him open, and I thought I lost my money. No, sir. He came back in the second round and did what he had to do. If this was a 5-round fight, I'd probably go Hermanson. I think in a 5-rounder, Rodriguez, we saw against Cannonier, he can run into trouble with cardio, stamina. Hermanson's been out for a while. If you look at the size difference, 6'3", I don't know how he makes 185 pounds. Every part of his body looks bigger. You can see on the screen here, his head is sticking out. See how he has ears that stick out, and his head still is sticking out like that. He's done steroids before, but that's fine. I think Gregory Rodriguez pushes the pace, hunts Jack down for the first 2 rounds, sort of similar to Piper versus Jack, but Jack just won't have those 3 rounds to come back and win 3-2. I think he may win the third round, but Rodriguez is going to win the first 2, if not finish him. And he'll walk away with a decision. 29-28 is my official prediction. Maybe Hermanson will become more active then instead of just popping in and taking out a prospect. Speaking of prospects, holy shit. Payton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. At first I was like, why would you do this? I rate Lima so highly. I think he could be top 5. I still rate Talbot highly. I think his natural skills and tools are genetically just lucky. He is very lucky. He's huge. He's 5'10", but he's thicker than O'Malley. If he can figure out grappling just to stuff a takedown, he has a good chin, good cardio, and his striking is outstanding. And now he's running in to Felipe Lima, who is a problem. He is good everywhere. He's so fast. Get your back, clinch, cardio. Dog will not give up or sit in a bad position. Striking is good, although he's short. He's probably going to have to go to grappling in this fight. I think just on the feet. If Talbot got another haircut, it's over. I'm going to have to wait till walkouts. I think that lost him a lot of aura, cutting his hair. But, yeah, on the feet strictly, I think Talbot would win a kickboxing match. Lima just is not going to allow that to happen. However, I think Lima will win, but I think Talbot will win on the judges' scorecards via robbery. Very similar to Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan. Talbot will land damaging strikes, not get controlled on the ground for the majority of the round like he did against Barcelos. And the judges are going to reward damage, and Lima might even outland him, but the judges will be looking for everything Talbot throws, and as soon as he cracks him hard, that's points. So I think Talbot will win, maybe a split decision, 29-28 via robbery. Payton Talbot wins this and continues the hype train. I love it. I want to see him versus Wellmaker. Bantamweight is stacked. That's my second favorite division. Bantamweight and welterweight, man, are amazing right now. All right, moving up to the next fight. We have Beneil Dariush, where's my Tesla at, versus Hanato Money Moicano. This is a very interesting fight. I was thinking Moicano for the longest time when it got announced, but now I have swayed towards Dariush. And the reason I swayed towards Dariush is I think Moicano is the perfect style of fighter for Dariush to win against. Like Matej Gamrot. Not the best striking, like Arman or even Charles, great striking. So I don't think we have to be as worried about a Dariush, unless his chin is gone, which is possible. I don't think we have to be as worried about a Dariush knockout here from Moicano. And if Moicano starts shooting takedowns, that's where Dariush thrives. Anyone that shoots a lot of takedowns against Dariush doesn't have a ton of power. He eats them up usually in fights. He does. And he has power. I think that he wins this fight against Moicano. I don't know if he's going to finish Moicano. I think he'll drop Moicano at one point. Or maybe get on top, position, just have more pop in his shots, cause more damage. It's going to be a back and forth fight, but I'm going to go with Beneil Dariush out of Iran. To win this fight with his gray hair. Let's go. I think Benny's going to do it. Next fight, my man Joshua Van. I went to UFC 316 and got to see him live, put on an absolute masterclass. This dude is good. Him or Loner Kavanaugh have the best boxing in the flyweight division, in my opinion. He's very short for his even flyweight, which is crazy to say, but man, he is compact. He has a big head, short neck, bob in, weave, body shots are out of this world. And one of the things he's best at is figuring fighters out. After the first round, it seems like he improves in every fight other than the Charles Johnson fight. It seems like he improves every round. He figures fighters out. figures out what they want to do, and he just puts it on him. This last performance was his best one. He didn't even need to figure out Bruno. He absolutely destroyed him. And Bruno was catching Cop. I know Cop was stylish about it, but Bruno was still hitting him with some stuff. Not like Van didn't even get touched. That being said, Royval is a dog. I thought Tatsuro Taira was going to beat him, and he didn't. But I think Van has a very good style to get on the inside against Royval and rip his body apart. Van needs to worry about leg kicks. He shrugs off everyone when it comes to wrestling. But he needs to worry about leg kicks. And when Royval scrambles in to throw his crazy finishing moves, he's a little bit unorthodox. And I think Van will take advantage of that and hit the counters will be there. He needs to press forward. Avoid knees, obviously, because Royval has a nasty knee. He's very lanky. And I think Van takes this by decision, just outpacing him maybe in the second and third round. Royval might start hot, hit a leg kick, hit a teep, maybe a jab, but I don't think his head movement is good enough. I don't think his own sake for safety is good enough. If Van gets in there and starts to punish him with body shots and slow him down, which I don't think he'll slow him down because it's Royval. It's a 3-rounder. I think he takes at least 2 rounds. It is short notice, but I don't think Van cuts too much weight here. And I think he gets it done. And that's what we need, because guess who else I don't have losing this fight? Pantoja. I want to see Van versus Alexandre. That would be sweet. Kai Kara-France is very good. I just don't think he has what it takes to beat Pantoja. I think for at least a couple rounds, Pantoja will win off of control time. His body lock is nasty. Clinch on the cage, maybe holds him down for a minute and a half, gets his back at some point, works the body, and just eats whatever Kai has to throw. And that's what has been the success for Pantoja recently. In the first round, a lot of his opponents will come out, hit him hard, and Pantoja won't go anywhere. He has an amazing chin. He should be regarded as one of the best chins in the UFC, in my opinion. But yeah, I just don't see Kai finding that knockout shot. And if he doesn't early on, I don't think it'll come later. And Pantoja just doesn't quit. And I think he will take over this fight maybe 4 rounds to 1, using grappling, striking, mixing it up, using his face to eat Kai Kara-France's punches, hitting Kai to the body where he seems to be a little bit weak. I know that was just the Brandon Moreno fight, but it's still. So, I mean, yeah, I think he's a tall. I think he's at least 5'6" here. He's a little bit bigger. Kai has the reach in city kickboxing. I love Dan Hooker, but I think Pantoja and Still, and I think they'll set up a fight with him and Joshua Van next. Hopefully, that would be sweet because of how good Van is at just Xing out takedowns. All right, guys, here it is. Charles do Bronx Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. I'm going to give it to you straight. Charles didn't look like he had the best weight cut, and I don't think Charles can grab Ilia by the scruff of his chest. And I don't think it's going to happen. Charles, like Ilia said, Ilia is so smart in his interviews. If you listen to him, he is in amazing shape. He said Charles is going to walk forward, and Charles does walk forward. Charles gets hurt in a lot of fights. And there's that select few class of fighters, Islam included, that when they do hurt Charles, they can finish him. And I think Ilia will do just that. I don't think when he inevitably rocks Charles Oliveira, it's going to be a Gaethje or a Poirier or a Chandler where the job doesn't get done. Topuria will end it when he hurts Charles. And I think it might be early. I don't see Charles taking him down. Charles could have success in the clinch on the cage. But, I mean, Topuria just stood in the middle of the octagon and pointed at Max. If he does that, like how and just swings with Charles, who's going down first? Charles is. You know what I mean? So I see Topuria getting a first or second round knockout here. Getting the belt. Who would he fight next? That's very intriguing. I don't know, man. I think Topuria is on his way to be one of the greatest of all time. I love Charles to death. This is just not. It's Topuria's time. It is Topuria's time. written in the stars, whatever you may say. Topuria by knockout early in the fight. And he sips his tea, or he does whatever he does. And he is officially a 2 weight class champion at 17-0. And probably will face Armin next. So who I think will give him more of a challenge. All right. Well, that's my picks. I will do another update video later on explaining where I sort of went ahead with the channel. I want to interact with everybody. I'm going to be live streaming the UFC events tonight and going forward, making all kinds of content and talking to everyone, responding to every comment. I just want to have fun with it. I'm into this. I'm going to do a video about, what I've been up to. But those are my official picks for UFC 317. Hopefully I see you guys at the live stream. Hopefully you have not given up on me and I can still be a part of your weekly schedule, tuning in to hear me talk, chatting with me.